Today, we have the pleasure of talking to the incredible Patrice Brantley, a talented but also retired educator uh, who turned into an author, who became an author, consultant, counselor, and entrepreneur. Patrice is the driving force behind the empowering 3S movement, where she, as you can see in the screen, as soon as she starts talking to us, and then she utilizes her rich experiences to help individuals like you and I and groups with their reach their full potential. So she helps people reach their full potential. Having spent close to 2 decades in Broward in Miami County, Miami-Dade County public school systems, Patricia's passion for education seamlessly transitioned into a commitment to community services. She is not only she has not only co-facilitated transformative groups like, just say, Divas Destined for Greatness and the Women's Empowerment Hour, but she has also been a beacon of inspiration through her world-renowned YouTube show. Yes, you can find her on YouTube. The show is called the Patrice Brantley Show. Today, we'll explore Patrice's journey from education to entrepreneurship and uncover the unique offerings of the 3S movement and gain insights into her powerful coaching methodologies. So join us because the conversation will be interesting as we delve into the mind and mission of a remarkable individual, Patrice Brantley, who continues to inspire millions weekly with her motto, be inspired to be yourself. So be inspired to empower someone else. Patricia, welcome to Megaphony.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
Yes, and you had a fulfilling career. By the way, are you talking to us from Miami? Because this is where your education background all started. So are you talking to us from Miami?
I'm currently traveling, but I will be back that way shortly.
Yeah, so as viewers heard from my introductions, they can tell that you had a fulfilling career in education and community service before founding the 3S movement. So what inspired the transition, and how do your previous experiences influence your current work?
So I taught for close to 20 years, 2 decades. And in that experience, I kept finding that I was being greeted at my front door with mental wellness concerns, not just for my students, but also with their parents. And I think the event that really captured it all was where I had a parent who had decided that they wanted to end it all. And it was like, instead of me trying to, get help, I'm just going to take me and my child. We're going to walk in front of the county bus and we're going to end it all today. And I remember this experience because it was such a heart-wrenching experience, because it was such a wonderful, beautiful parent and an amazing child. And I had to kind of leap into action to say, okay, this is what's going on. Let's get you the help that you need. And by having mental wellness or mental illness at that point greet me at the door, it really pushed me to say I need to do more. At that time, I was already in school to become a counselor. And after that experience, I just knew something had to change. And when I realized it had to change, not just for that student, not just for that parent, but also for the educators that were dealing with this. A lot of us are dealing with parents and students on an everyday basis who are dealing with stuff, but maybe not talking to us about it, maybe don't have access to the proper care. So that's what made me push over to this space. And how did I transition? I transitioned because it became what I call parking lot ministry. There were days that I would meet teachers in the parking lot and they would say, you know what, I'm ready to go. This is no longer for me. And I would talk to them and encourage them about how important they are to this process and staying in the classroom and helping these young kids and helping these parents, because truthfully, sometimes we are the only stability that that child may have.
And how long ago did this transition take place?
I left the classroom in 2015 because this was the pandemic that no one talked about. Nobody talked about how mental health was affecting the school system overall. And when I left the classroom, I went right into helping teachers, healthcare workers, and other impact-driven individuals repower up their mental wellness so that it can enjoy and honestly reignite the passion in their own lives.
And it's like, would you mind situating the Brazilian audience in regards to the to the United States education system? Because to my understanding, I used to work on cruise ships, and the British used to mock the U.S. education system, but that is because they haven't seen the Brazilian education system. Brazil is compared. I think Brazil is behind Indonesia when it comes to education. That's how far behind we are. So, how is the United States education-wise? Can you situate us?
So right now, due to the COVID pandemic, there's a very large learning gap. As I was discussing with some former colleagues, with this gap, average child that's sitting in your face that's in 7th grade is really working on a lower 3rd grade or just beginning 4th grade level. So you have children that are sitting here with you physically one age, but educationally they're 3 years behind. What people don't realize is that part was a lot of people didn't have access to internet service. They didn't have access to maybe the computer or services at home, or maybe they were supposed to be getting special needs access or other things, and they didn't have that at the time.
And now you somehow are coming up with solutions, right, with this 3S movement. So could you share more about the services offered on 3smovement.com? By the way, folks, the website is 3smovement.com. I think Patricia has also placed that somewhere in her screen. So could you talk about this particular movement, specifically how life coaching, group sessions, mini group sessions, and power group workshops contribute to a personal development and wellness?
So with this particular movement, it has 2 parts. It has the part that's dedicated to teachers, because we want to take care of those teachers and take care of our teachers who take care of us. You know, that's the only profession that you get everybody else out of. When you take care of the teachers, you take care of the future. So I want to talk about that part with the teachers. The first part with the teachers is we start with 2 parts. The first part, if you would like, is counseling. If you choose to do counseling, that deals with dealing with the things of the past, and we help you move past those concerns of the past to move into your future. If you say, I don't need that part, I want to jump into life coaching. Life coaching is where we help you to look at your current goals, meet those goals, exceed those goals, and start moving you to what you want to do in your future. Then when we talk about the groups, we actually come together and talk about the 9 wheels of wellness. And we look at wellness for the whole person. And in those 9 wheels, we look at what's that area that you want to improve for you, that's going to help you be that best teacher in that room. What's going to help you be the best mom, the best dad? What's going to help you be that parent that when you stand back and look back and say, I've accomplished this, that's what we want to help you to do. We have groups set up into 60-minute sessions, and we also have mini groups, because I do know that everybody's moving quick and fast in life, and everybody doesn't have an hour to give, but we want to give you those 30 minutes to help you kind of power up your life each day to give you something good. We want to give you something you can walk with. And another part that we love to do in the community, and this goes for the parents, we like to provide parent workshops, certain things that parents can use and walk with. So for example, if you're saying my child is having troubles in these areas, I'm concerned, we have workshops for that. If you say, I'm concerned about my child's mental wellness, I'm concerned about how their anxiety is showing up, let us sit together and we actually do little group sessions with them. And we talk about tools and practical, easy steps that they can use to help those children as well.
Now, let's delve into the power work framework. The power up, the power up framework. So this is a central aspect of your coaching and workshops, as I read on your website. How did you develop this framework, and what key principles does it encompass? And since you're going to mention, since you're going to talk about this, can you provide examples of how the power up framework has made a tangible impact this a tangible impact on individuals or groups you've worked with?
So the Power Up framework was actually birthed out of me being burned out as an educator myself. For me being that person who was trying to juggle everything and take it all and do it all and be it all for everyone else. That framework was actually put together with me and a friend of mine as we talked about that day when I got to the point where I said, you know what, this is a bit much. I'm going to step away. And he encouraged me to say, don't step away. Let's find a way to help you get yourself, get your joy back, get your passion back. So the actual Power Up framework is a 5-step Power Up framework. The first part is where we talk about the pause. The second one is the plan. The third part is putting it in action. Then your progress check. And then we talk about finding what your level of paradise looks like. And in these different workshops, we actually put together with you a customized plan that is actually workable for your life. Nobody's plan is going to ever be the same. It's going to be a plan that's customized to you, that works for you and your lifestyle, that helps you be the best you possible. And with that, what I love about it is as we walk through it and go through this framework, you get to see for yourself where your improvements have been. You get to see what's changing, what's working really well for you. The best example I could give is me. With this particular plan, it helped me, 1, to lose over 100 pounds. 2, it also helped me to actually get my mental wellness back under control, where I was able to go back into the classroom, reignite my passion for what I enjoyed and really help. And then when I moved into the mental health space, I was allowed to take this and use it in different demographics. When I work with my moms who were dealing with postpartum depression, this is one of the main frameworks I use with them. And we talk about finding different ways that they can get their zeal, their passion back after having their babies, and get what I call, get your sexy back up, And then with this, when we talk to dads, when dads feel a little bit overwhelmed, let's talk about what that means. I think sometimes we overlook dads and don't realize that dads have some concerns too. So this is a chance for us to kind of say, okay, Dad, let's power you back up so that you can see who you were before the kids. And then, allow them to have that time for them as well. So those have been a couple of the examples that's been really good.
Yes, and then you offer also retreats. So this power up workshops and retreats, they're described as customized design experience, right? As you've mentioned also. So how do you tailor these experiences to address the unique needs and goals of participants? Like you mentioned, you've lost 100 pounds with this program like that you've developed. So that can be applied in many endeavors, right? And what are some memorable moments or transformations that have occurred during these customized workshops? I mean, like, you've mentioned something that has transformed your life, because did you say losing 100 pounds? Like, that is impressive. So can you share more examples, perhaps, folks who have joined one of the retreats and workshops?
So the wonderful piece about the retreats and workshops is that we make it our purpose to give you a one-of-a-kind experience. So right now, in the midst of my traveling, I'm in a very cold area. You can't see what I have on, but I'm in a very cold area that's like about 34 degrees right now. So at this particular space, we find a really nice cabin set up, and we want to talk about you really connecting. We use our morning parts of the session to give you a chance to get your morning started with ease and grace. Then we talk about getting into what it looks like for your day, helping you to kind of get those things in order. We find different topics in those workshops that are truly customized for you. So you may have, in the first set of sessions, you may have somebody that you came with, and you all may do those together. But in the second session or after lunch, you may have a total different group because they're exploring something different. And in these particular groups, we take the moment to take the time to really reflect, put in practice, so that when you leave, you have something you can walk with. What I love about this, and I think one of the biggest compliments of this that I've really received has been from a couple of teachers that I've had that said, you know what, I appreciate this. You allowed me to be able to make it through the last couple of years of my teaching career, and I was able to leave out when I was ready, not being pushed out. So I think that is a really awesome compliment to be able to help somebody walk through and say, instead of quitting right when I'm this close to retiring, to being able to help them to retire the way they wanted to.
Yes, and you also work with art. It's giving your interest in touring art museums and local galleries. Perhaps this is what you're doing now, as you've mentioned, you're not in Miami, you're traveling to a cold place. So who knows? Now, do you incorporate art and cultural experiences into your coaching in workshops? If so, how does this enhance the overall experience for the participants?
So the one thing I love about is I'm an art lover myself. And I feel like every time we see a picture or a particular thing in art, we find something that connects to us. So I love to bring in other people or other participants or other presenters, I should say, excuse me. I love to bring in other presenters who specialize in that. I love to bring in people who talk about doing a heart pour. A heart pour is when you actually take a actual thing of paint and create what your heart looks like on painting, and then talk about writing the things that go with it. What's in your heart? What fills your heart? What makes you feel joy? What makes you feel empty? And then we like to talk about and discuss it and see what are those things that in your life you may want to kind of say, maybe we need to take away some of those things that make you feel empty, and maybe we need to increase some of those things that make you feel full.
Yeah. Now let's delve into the experience, like the advantages, if you will, of group dynamics, because it's not only individual but also group. Like if folks have offered group dynamics, particularly in terms of collective support and shared experiences. So, what advantages do you see in these group dynamics as opposed to individual sessions?
So what I love about the group dynamic is that you walk in the door with a team that's ready to cheer you on. Once people get in and they introduce themselves to each other, they find out and say, you know what, this is something I'm interested in, and it becomes an instant bond. And as they start to bond, it becomes a thing of, I want to support you. I'm going to be your partner in this. And what I love about it is I have found groups that say, we're going to take this, as I like to lovingly call it, snack size goal. We don't make a person feel like it has to be done in 30 days. We may say, you know what, take your time. Let's get this goal done. And when we get it done, we celebrate. We let this person know we see you, we hear you, and we are excited to see what's greatness is in you. That's the amazing part I love about the group experience. So we have those people who continue to be your cheerleader in the back and push you when things are a little tough, but we also have your cheerleading section when you create and when you actually have your victory.
Yeah. And now, how do you measure the success of these people then? As a life coach, how do you define and or measure the success? Who knows? For your clients in both individual and group sessions, group settings. Can you share a specific instance where you witnessed a significant change or positive changes in someone's life through your coaching?
So what I love about with the individual coaching is that you get to actually hear the client themselves talk about their changes. For one of my moms that I work with who was dealing with postpartum depression, she actually spoke about how the day, as she called it, the lights went on. She talks about how that particular day, it was the aha, and she got it. And she talked about how that was the day that, you know, it wasn't feeling like a drain. It was feeling like a joy to be able to go and be with her child at that time, because she felt like she had her zest back. And she said the one thing I loved about it was that I had my energy back. I could see me in the mirror. I love that. I love when she gave that example of seeing herself in the mirror and not feeling like she wasn't giving her best. The other part of that is when it came to the coaching part, when the other ladies were in the group and they talked about that day of feeling like they saw themselves in the mirror again. And as one young lady talked about it, I got my oomph back. Like that, it was just amazing to me to see the smile on her face, to be able to say, you know what? I've had some things that have changed, but I'm me again. I can share these things and it doesn't feel like I've lost these things. I'm feeling like I'm gaining me back. And that's the most important part, that we want these women and these men that we work with to feel like they're gaining themselves back.
Yeah. And how does the 3S movement contribute to the community, like the empowerment of the community and the well-being of this community? And what role do you see it playing in a broader context? Are there any community initiatives or projects within the 3S movements, the 3S movement that you were particularly proud of? I mean, I'd say there's a lot to be proud of. Like just these people, your clients, their success. I think there's money can't pay that. You know, it's really rewarding in itself, in and of itself. But are there examples of it to the community? Like, are there instances where the community felt that it provided for them something that they needed, something more, something that goes beyond just a group of individuals, but a whole community, perhaps a whole neighborhood, if you will?
So the great thing about this is when you change one life, you change the community. So I always look at it as if they come in and they do something different, somebody else in that community is going to find out, hey, I really like what she's done. I like what's happening with you. Tell me about it. Talk to me. Give me more information about it. And usually that's how we get referrals, right? But the other part of this that I love is that the initiative that I'm really pushing right now is the Adopt a Teacher program. With this is something that my heart is very dedicated to. With this particular initiative, this goes back, and instead of adopting a classroom, you are adopting that teacher. You're going in and you're saying, I'm going to help that teacher take care of their house. They've been helping me take care of my baby. I want to help take care of their home. And how you can do with that is that you donate. For each donation, we give back to that teacher. It could be something as easy as gas if they need gas between their pay periods. It could be groceries if they need. It could be whatever that teacher is finding that they feel at this moment that they need. It could be money for one of their kids. So, you never know how you can help someone make a difference, and not just in their life, but not just in their community, but in their personal life.
Yes, and looking ahead, do you have plans to say what are your aspirations for the future of the 3S movement? And are there any new initiatives, projects on the horizon you'd like to share?
So, yes, I'm looking so forward to what the future of the 3S movement looks like. I'm looking forward to us taking this and expanding it. I know that we have my Florida family in the building today, but I want to expand this out in other states. I want to get this word out. I want to get this over to Brazil. I want to come over, right? So I want to take this global. I want this to be something that when people think of the 3S movement, it's not just happening in one location. This is happening nationwide. I want to be that support system for our teachers. I want to be that person that teachers say, you know what? I was having a struggle here, but she came in and she brought her team in with her to help do this so that we can get this out. It's not just about one place, it's about all places. Because here's the thing, if we help one teacher, we in turn can help all teachers. And I know that this is something that will not just help those classrooms, but it will also help, as you said earlier, the community and also the nation. So that is our push. We're trying to get out here and get the word out as much as possible. The other part of this that I'm looking forward to is expanding it and getting out and actually having more conversations about this. I think this is an important topic. I think if we have more conversations about what it looks like to take care of the teachers' mental wellness and teachers' mental health, I think this would be a great conversation to have for many people.
And well, you're not going to believe, we probably would believe this, but considering the education system in Brazil and how chaotic the education system is in this country, and how the government somehow neglects the teachers, I think this movement not only has the place in Brazil, but it could be life saving to a lot of teachers. So thanks to television and the internet, like television and internet working together to put this show together, I think this is an opportunity. You folks watching this show, why don't you take this to your community, to your school, to your school board, to the city hall, and then present this kind of project? The website is right here. Wouldn't this be the answer to the problems that teachers face in this country? So then how can we in Brazil find you, Patricia?
So there are a couple ways you can find me. You can find me, of course, at the 3smovement.com. You can always throw me an email, send me an email at info@the3smovement.com. And if you're able to, you can always call at 216-356-1031 to set up an appointment. Let's talk about it. Let's have these conversations. I think it would do a lot of people really good to be able, as I love to say, to find their happiness, their healness, and make their lives completely whole. So that's my push. That's my tagline. I always say happiness healed equals wholeness. And that's what the push is. Our goal is to make sure that it's not just about us, but everybody experiencing happiness healed and being whole at 3S Movement.
So is there anything we forgot to mention that you would like to say to the audience in Brazil?
I just want to say thank you all for letting me come and have this time with you all and honoring me with your time. I'm so excited that you all said yes and come on over. Let's chat about this. And, I want to continue this discussion. So if you are on YouTube, please check us out at the 3S Movement. I would love to have these discussions live. I'd love to, kind of talk about the good things that's happening and the things that maybe need some changes. And then also, I would love for you to say, hey, what's some things we can do or bring to your specific community that you want us to talk about?
Yes, so then I want to take this opportunity to also thank you, Patricia, for being with us. This was really enlightening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this time and this opportunity.